If you're feeling lost, you're not alone. Feeling lost may be the clearest sign that you're exactly where you need to be, or at the very least, may be exactly what you need to help you on your way. The trick is, of course, not to judge it and not to judge yourself for where you're at. You see, we often confuse the feeling of being lost or being off track with the actual being off trackedness. What in the world does that mean? It means often it's simply a matter of fine-tuning the dial to get the station in clearly, even though that's kind of an analog reference in now a digital world. But it works, and there are simple ways to tune that dial. And I want to talk about 3 of those right here today. First, we feel into the off-trackedness. I feel lost, I feel off track, I feel stuck, I feel off purpose. I don't know where I'm going. The simplest thing to do would be to block it, to push it away. But as the expression goes, what you resist persists. The better answer here is to lean into it. Why am I feeling this way? What am I feeling? What's the resistance? In other words, we get to go to the emotions that are inside of you. And often those emotions are telling us we're not really off track, but we're playing things too small, or we're playing things too conservatively. That really doesn't work in this over-the-top, over-energized, topsy-turvy world. We get to play it big, or as I like to say, we get to live life large. So how do we begin to live life large? As I've got this giant ball of light that has now just come out behind me. We get to take walks with ourselves, take talks with ourselves, shut off that radio dial, shut off that Amazon Alexa, shut off the podcast or whatever we're listening to. And we get to be with ourselves. Certainly we can write, we can go to automatic writing, but we get to ask, what am I feeling? And why am I feeling this way? And see what bubbles up. If you're feeling really worried, lost, or insecure, get yourself out to nature, or as crazy as it sounds, get yourself out to a tree, hug it, put your back on it, sit by it, stand by it. That rooting force of nature will help you ground you and allow you to be with the emotions and be really with the guidance that's trying to birth or come through you at this time. Second, as I was mentioning earlier, feel where there is resistance. Often resistance is misunderstood. So in the old days, or in this Jungian world where you've got to climb to the top of the mountain, you've got to push through, you've got to fight the dragon, save the princess, as all of these expressions go, it's not quite the answer. Resistance isn't here for us to fight through it or to push through it, even if there's a tower and there's a prince, a princess, or whomever or whatever. The resistance has a message for us. Perhaps it's a message to go the other way, or it may just be a message to relax into things, which means really what we get to do is listen and then check in with our bodies, as in, how does this truly make me feel? Or am I hearing a yes or hearing a no? I teach muscle testing. In fact, if you want me to teach muscle testing and some other simple techniques, put in the chat that you'd like to, or put in the comments, and I'll see if I can release a video on that. How does this make me feel is a very powerful tool. We can use some basic muscle testing for this. If you thought of the direction that you'd like to go in, if you think of it right now, and if I put it right in front of you right here, whatever that is, whatever direction is calling or pulling on your heart that you've pushed away, do you lean into it? Or does it repel you and push you backwards? This is a very simple way. You can put yourself on the edge of the chair and you can tell, if I'm leaning into it, it's all green lights, we get to go in that direction. If it repels me, we get to ask the question, why? Of course, we can do pendulum and muscle testing. And again, you can put your comment below on that. But we get to relax. We get to lean in. We get to feel in. And in essence, communicate with ourselves. So that's really the first piece, is this communication. The second thing that we really get to do is, and I was mentioning this earlier, relax back into alignment. What does that mean, to relax back into alignment? It means, again, you might be closer than you think, and things may open up if you don't try to force them. So for myself, I've been on this healing journey for the last, I guess, since end of June last year. And the doctor wants me to start to get more aggressive, more pushing myself, not as in slaying the dragon, but, well, for instance, today I went out to a mountain bike trail that I haven't done in a very long time because I haven't felt ready. I haven't felt strong enough. It felt too difficult. It would make me dizzy or worse. I brought myself there today without attachment to an outcome, without needing it to go any certain way. I said, I'm simply going to be here at this trail. I'm going to ride around this trail. I hope to do it 2 times, but I'm going to relax into all of it. Usually, based on my injury, which is a head injury last year, I get about halfway through the lap and I'd feel a mess and exhausted and probably find a way to get off of the course and get home. It's about 6 miles. Take the road home, so to speak. This time I wanted 2 laps. Haven't done it in at least a month. But I was going to do it without trying, without driving, without striving. Here's what happened. I felt better and better, faster and faster, more in the flow and more relaxed. And when I finished with it, I didn't feel fatigued at all. I've now been having a beautiful workday here, and I don't feel any residual effects from something that, if I hadn't relaxed into it, would have leveled me. Relaxing into things takes the brakes off, lets go of the resistance, and most importantly, starts opening up doorways for you. This is huge. Often the answer is right before us, but we either don't allow us to step through the door or we can't see the door because of the amount of resistance that's in our way. We let go of the resistance. What you resist, you persist, or what you fight against stops you cold in your tracks. Those doors pop open. And that brings us to our third big piece of the puzzle. We've had some micro pieces in there. The third big piece of the puzzle, and it could be fourth, I like to give you an overachiever at giving you things, is to follow the breadcrumbs or feel what's on your heart. We often tamp down our hearts, tamp down the joy, and don't allow ourselves to follow, to be, or to do happy. And yes, I can hear Pharrell now in my head. We don't allow ourselves to do happy. Well, example, as you can see by my backdrop, and I am very, very lucky and very, very fortunate. This is real. It's not actually a backdrop. My wife, my daughter, myself tend to live in places where we go, I can't believe we live here. And on my better days, I'm doing work where I'm going, I can't believe I get to do this. Why? Maybe it's because it's too beautiful or because it feels like so much fun. This is exactly what you get to do as well. I want you living a life where you go, I can't believe I get to do X, Y, or Z. What does that mean? And Michael, I can't possibly do that. I don't have the degree. I don't have the experience. I don't have the doors open. I don't have the this. I don't have the that. I get it. But you've actually got the greatest superpower in the universe. You. And you go, oh, yeah. You've got the second greatest superpower in the universe, your energy. Actually, maybe that's the first superpower in the universe. You see, when you get in alignment with that energy, when you get in alignment with who and what you are, when you get in alignment, I'll explain that more in a bit, with your 10-year-old and with your higher self. See, your 10-year-old always knew what you wanted to do because it was always in communication with your higher self. The you that does not have amnesia, the you that is everywhere, the you that exists beyond space and time. The 10-year-old was firmly connected in cahoots with that higher self and knew what she or they wanted to do. When you get back in alignment with that, things pop. At 10, chances are you knew how you wanted to play. For myself, I love to ride my bike. I love to swim. I love to run. I love to hike. I love to explore. What do I like now? Really many of the same things. And I love to geek out on things and teach it given half the chance. Hello. The 10-year-old in you knows. The trick is we get to get back to that 10-year-old either feeling into her or him or them, remembering, or simply by following the breadcrumbs. What's it mean to follow the breadcrumbs? Well, you are a divine energetic being having a divine energetic experience. meaning you're all energy, squashed or put in human form. The energy that you have, the energy that you emit, the energy that you use didn't come or start from you. It came from the you here. We can call it little you or big you. When you get in alignment with this level of energy, things begin to pop. And how did that happen? The energy is simply put what you like, what you love, what your tastes are, what lights you up. So, for instance, do you like chocolate ice cream? Some do, some don't. Some say cookie dough, some say Rocky Road, chocolate chip. You came here liking what you liked. Now, certainly we can have experiences and we can say, is it nature, is it nurture, why you can link or associate something and come to like it or love it. But there are things that you loved when you came in here. Those didn't come from you. Those are the breadcrumbs. Those are the things that guide you on your path. So if you say, I love bike riding, okay, we get to go in that direction. I really don't like this other thing, even though I have a degree in it. Maybe that's the direction we don't go. We start to be honest and open with ourselves, and we start to focus on the breadcrumbs, whatever they may be and why. You're an energetic being having an energetic experience in human form, which means you are an almighty creator. You are. And you create through the energy that you are running, through the emotion, energy in motion. If you feel about something, you begin to attract pure magic into your life. If you feel it's just not going to be a pretty day, much better to go to the state of which comes about when we start doing what we like. Like begets like. Energy begets energy. If you're in a higher elevated state of consciousness, you attract higher elevated states of outcomes to you everywhere, which means, as silly as it sounds, as completely ridiculous as it sounds, get yourself to places that give you the higher states. Okay, I'm going to let you in on a little really vain example here. Please forgive me. And it's a first world example, meaning you'll get the gist. Last week, I went to a hospital to help work on my healing. And afterwards, it was quite the experience. I didn't know how to process any of it. Now, I'm a car nut. I'm also an eco car nut. Give me the greener the car, the better. But I am a car nut. Okay, there are some that are made nuttier than me. And so what I did is I took myself, it's going to sound vain, I admit it, to a Maserati dealership that was on the way to the airport. Why? I looked at all the cool cars. I talked with the salesman. I sat in the car. I put my hands on the wheel. I imagined Hannah Bear in the back seat. That's my daughter. And I played like a little kid, like a 10-year-old playing with his Matchbox cars. There was McLaren. There wasn't a Ferrari. There's McLaren. There's Rolls-Royce. There's Bentley. There's Maseratis. There's Lotuses. There's so many cool cars there. And what happened? I left in an elevated state of consciousness. I flew and came back here, and my healing went through the roof. Michael, are you saying going to a car dealership helped you to heal? Yes, absolutely. Like begets like, energy begets energy, and breadcrumbs beget the most amazing, magical future. You go to those breadcrumbs with everything you've got. You find the joy with everything you've got. Michael, I don't know what joy is anymore. The 10-year-old in you did. Go back to 10, play, dance, sing, draw, paint, whatever it may be. And things will start to become clearer for you. Do not push into the, what do I need to do? Where do I need to go? How do I get in alignment? Instead, talk to yourself, relax in, and play, and play. And how does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? Well, I have a free 5-day Calm and Connect meditation that can help you get in this state, get in alignment, connect with your higher self, and get even more guidance on where to turn and where to go from here. It's absolutely free. The link is down below, and I can't wait to see you on the inside. So I send you love, and I send even more love and green lights your way. Woohoo! There's the link. Lots of love.